Hey Virgo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. This is a weekly forecast for the sun sign of Virgo. What we're going to do is go over the planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sign. This is not a horoscope because it's not based on house placements. We're just going to go over the aspects or angles of your natal sun to other planets and how that will impact your energy for this week. This week is April 21st to April 27th. And there's some big stuff that's going on. So we're going to start really broad with the stuff that's impacting everybody. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper and a little bit more specific to the stuff that is particularly going to be impacting you guys, all of you. And then we're going to get into real specifics and target the decans. A decan is a group of 10 degrees. And because each zodiac sign is 30 degrees, each zodiac sign has 3 decans. So a decan or a degree is, you know what a degree is, your natal sun, all your natal suns sit on a specific degree of Virgo. If you don't know which degree that is, it's easy. You can get your natal chart and you can find out. There's lots of websites that will run natal chart for free. All you have to do is search free natal chart. A bunch will pop up, and then you need your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your place of birth, all of which is on your birth certificate. Just plug all that information in, and it'll pop up a natal chart for you, and you'll see where your natal sun is, which degree of Virgo it's on. And now, if you don't want to go through that, you don't have that information, or you can't do that right now, I'm going to estimate the dates that are associated or correlate to the decans, but remember that is still an estimate. Yes, I recommend that you watch all the video, the whole video, even for the decans that you're not a part of, simply because A, it's interesting, it's astrology, and B, you could be surprised about what might impact you, especially if you're in between decans or right on the cusp between the two. So let's dig in. There's something really big that's happening this week, and it impacts everybody, but especially you guys. In fact, a lot of the stuff that's impacting everybody is going to particularly impact you because it involves Mercury. So Mercury has gone retrograde. That's right, today, the 21st. It went stationary yesterday. That was when the new moon and the solar eclipse was happening. And now Mercury is officially going retrograde. It appears like it's going backward. That's going to exacerbate the conjunction that it's already in with Uranus, because Mercury is going retrograde in the second decan of Taurus, and Uranus, that's where Uranus has been planted for a couple years. The two are conjunct. Now, they were conjunct all week, and normally Mercury would have just walked on by and left, but because it went retrograde, it's going to maintain a retrograde conjunction with Uranus. Now, Uranus is not retrograde, but Mercury is hanging out conjunct to Uranus for a longer time than it normally does. Mercury will be retrograde until May 15th. And it'll be hanging out with Uranus the entire time. What does this mean? Well, I mean, could you imagine just like, what was it? What was that big one that they called it Y2K? Everybody thought the world was going to end. It's not that, but there could be some major technological, global technological craziness, upheavals, or breakdowns that could happen during this, because Mercury is magnified by Uranus, and Uranus is big tech. It's high technology. There could also be major discoveries finally found, and I think even if there is like catastrophe or everything just collapses, it's going to reveal something that has long needed to be revealed. So we have two of the biggest aspects this week that are definitely going to impact you because they concern your ruling dignitary. The other big transit that was happening this week is the sun. The sun moved from Aries into Taurus, and now our sun is in Taurus. Now that means, especially for a group of you this week, your natal sun will be trine to the sun, and that will really work out for you. But another group of you, it's going to be square to the sun. So we're going to get into that. But the sun in Taurus is quite different. It's much more stable. It's much more focused on the home. It's much more focused on maintenance and taking things more slowly. It's more stubborn, but it's also more luxurious. It likes to luxuriate in the present moment, in the now. It doesn't like to think way into the future, and it doesn't really like to worry about the past. It is really all about inspiration that comes from the material world. It's definitely does, because Taurus rules the second house, does concern money. I don't know, we're going to get into how this impacts your natal sun, but these are all dynamics that are complementary to your natural state of being, but that's a little too general. So we're going to get into specifics. There was another one that I wanted to share with you. No, that was specifically for Leo. You want to get into the decans? Let's do it. We're going to get into specifics. So if you're in decan 1, if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Virgo, you are decan 1. Then your natal sun is going to be trine to the... I write everything down, guys. Everything. Then your natal sun is going to be trine to the current sun. That's a steadfastness and a sense of harmony in who you are, in finding love for yourself in the current moment where you are. Liking where you are, accepting where you are, luxuriating in who you are. So even if you have been struggling with some sort of insecurities, there is a sense right now of a strong sense of self and harmony with who you are and what your life purpose is. So that's kind of a blessing for you guys this week. Meanwhile, your natal sun is also trine to the north node. The sun, the current sun in Taurus, and the north node, also 4 degrees Taurus, is conjunct this week. So sun conjunct north node is looking forward to the future and seeing yourself in the future, or thinking of your future self and really wanting to go there, like seeing where your future is taking you and almost being able to picture yourself there. That's going to be trine to your natal sun, because your natal sun is trine to both of them and they're conjuncting each other. So ultimately there is a sense of really something about your future, something about moving forward in your life, something about finding that balance and finding a way forward. All of these things happening this week. Your natal sun is in opposition to Saturn. And that is a challenging aspect, because it's almost like something will never leave you alone. And it could just mean that you're working like crazy and you can't stop. And it's just almost like impulsive at this point. You want to get things done. Or you're kind of obsessed with law and rules and regulations. For whatever reason, it can be purposeful as long as you don't try to control it too much. It's best with oppositions to accept the tension and in some ways try to flow with it, because if you try to push against it, oppositions give you a real hard time. That's a long-term aspect, so that's already been going on. The thing that you're going to really feel this week is that beautiful trine to the sun conjunct north node with, yes, it could even be some good news that comes through about your future, or finally realizing I'm going to be okay, or I like where I'm headed. So Virgo 2s, if your natal sun is located somewhere between 10 and 19 degrees Virgo, you are Virgo 2s, because your sun is in the second decan of Virgo. You're getting a lot of stuff going on with you this week. Your natal sun is sextile to Mars. It is trine to Mercury conjunct Uranus. Oh, I wrote something down that I gotta tell you guys. Your natal sun is quincunx to Chiron. So what does that mean? Let's go back over to Mercury retrograde and discuss something. Mercury retrograde is conjunct Uranus almost for the entire time it's in retrograde, but this week it is sextile to Mars. Do you know what that means? I said, oh my God, shit is about to hit the fan. because this is opportunity to move forward. This is the train is going to keep on going. It's going to keep on moving. And there's some sort of opportunity here, maybe through some major technological breakthrough or huge discovery that is about to pop the off. This weekend could especially be a breakthrough weekend, but especially for you guys, for everybody, but especially for those of you who ruling dignitary, Mercury, you guys, and Gemini, but Virgo 2s especially, because all of this is happening in trying to, Mercury and Uranus are trying to your natal sun, and Mars is sextile to your natal sun. So something is really working out in terms of advancement, fast pace, pushing forward, some sort of discovery, something coming up that actually ends up really working out for you, or you finally being able to figure something out so that things work out for you. The quincunx to Chiron has been a long-standing aspect, and it will continue to be a challenge to you. But since you've been dealing with it for so long, it's probably become part of the background noise in your life. This is just a sense of questioning whether or not you're good enough. You know, whether or not you, like self-esteem, challenges to your sense of self-esteem. I think this week you got so much divine intervention and support that that's not going to really do anything except maybe inspire you to do the right thing or understand how to now utilize and put into purpose and or practice all those things, those lessons that you learned by suffering or being challenged in some way. Chiron is still in Aries, so it could be with physical struggle, you know, pain and suffering that you endured because of your body. But this trine to Mars for your natal sun is almost like physical opportunity to really move forward, to get into your body, to take a lot of action, to have more energy and stamina than you normally do, and also more coordination with a sextile. This trine to Mercury and Uranus is like, I mean, what a great time to just think outside of the box and trust your thoughts and trust your ingenuity. I mean, this is, I wish I knew exactly what was popping off for you guys, but this is a very good week. Now, Virgo 3s. If your natal sun falls somewhere between 20 and 29 degrees Virgo, you are Virgo 3s. And this includes Virgo Libra cusps. So your natal suns are quincunx to Jupiter, which is just kind of frustrating. It's almost like you're too optimistic in some ways. You expect things to be going too quickly, and it's starting to frustrate you because the reality around you can't keep up to your expectations of what you deserve or what you want to be happening right now. So grounding is the best cure for that. That won't last forever, but will last for a couple of more weeks. We also have, you guys are also in opposition to Neptune. So Neptune opposite the sun can get very easily distracted or very easily led or misled by believing something. So listen, this week I want you to be particularly on guard for people who tell you what you want to hear, because with those particular aspects, you will buy tonic water for $15,000 believing that it will make everybody else agree with you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like with those energies, even though you're normally practical and pragmatic, it's very easy to get misled or led astray, especially by those things you already think you know, especially by your sense of self or your ego. Just an FYI, it will be there it's just gonna be a struggle and it's gonna be a challenge. So before you say yes to anything, really try to step back and objectively think, is this a good idea? And if you find yourself trusting somebody instantaneously, get somebody else's advice or get somebody else's opinion, somebody that you know you can trust. I love you guys so much, and this Mercury retrograde is going to be off the hook because it is conjunct Uranus, and right now it's sextile to Mars. We're going to get some real, like, I just saw a car breaking down, like a bunch of I think it's a huge advancement this week that's coming through. We shall wait and see. Virgo, please remember to subscribe to this channel and then ring that notification bell so you know when I upload your favorite content. Virgo comes out every single week. I hope you also join me over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. You can watch that at any time. And remember, guys, we got merch. All you got to do is head on over to my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot, and you can get this freaking awesome merchandise. Isn't that beautiful? It's high quality, too. It's not like plastic and stuff. It's metal in back. It's adjustable. It's really lovely. That's how I designed them. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.